Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I'm just honored and excited to be connecting with each and every one of you. Happy New Year. This is our first live show of the year, and I'm just honored and really looking forward to all that this year will bring. And it's just such a privilege to have this time where we can come together and to connect with each of you and join you in the New Year energy. I hope that you are excited for 2025 and all that it is bringing in and bringing forward. I know I'm already feeling a beautiful and powerful flow as the New Year starts. So I just want to send that energy out to all of you as well, that you can also feel that beautiful flow and step into that. Today, we're going to be talking about pursuing your dreams and how are some ways that we can be proactive in stepping forward and making those dreams come true. What are some of the steps that we can take and the mindset we want to have? We have an amazing expert joining us. She is so powerful in all the different things that she's doing in the world, what she's bringing forward as a leader. And I know you're going to enjoy meeting her and just learning some of the powerful things that she's doing. But as we come together, I want us to stop and pause for a moment, just to take a deep breath in through the nose, all the way to your toes. And breathe out like you're breathing through a straw. And breathe in again in this mindful, deliberate breath. As you're breathing in, really picture breathing in all that support, all those things that you are wanting to bring forward, and trusting that those things that will help you do that, help you bring that forward, are coming to you. Just breathing that in. Breathing out, releasing those things that no longer serve, creating room and space for more. Feeling that beautiful oxygen come in, supporting every cell of your body. And then you breathe out, creating more room and space. And as we pause and we slow down a little bit, lowering our cortisol levels, our stress levels, really becoming present, I invite you to put your hand on your heart, stopping, pausing, and listening. I want you to feel and notice that beat of your heart. And as you're pausing and noticing, beat by beat, take a breath and lean into the pauses, that silence in between the beats. What is your heart whispering to you today? What is it saying to you, inviting you to lean into? As you think about 2025, you have this whole beautiful, powerful year ahead of you, lining up for you, open to build and create all you're wanting to build and create. What is your heart reminding you of? What is it encouraging you with? What is it whispering that you may need to support and empower and encourage you? What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Receive that information. Let's take another deep breath. Come back into the room, fully present. Eyes open, and take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart, what was laid on your spirit. What is it that you need, are willing to receive, and looking to bring forward? And I invite you to write it down so it's not just swirling around in you, but it's very present. You're starting to co-create it. You're interacting with it. You're keeping it in front of you during our conversation today. Because I know some of what will be shared today, what will bubble up within you as you listen and stay present, is going to serve and support you. So I want you to have that paper handy, ready to take notes, be leaning into that information, tips, resources, and insights that can powerfully support you. So as we're coming back, I'm leaning into our virtual room here, and I'm excited to bring on Debi. And Debi, I'd love for you to share what was laid on your heart when you took a moment to just stop, pause, and listen.
How can I help other people? I mean, that's always in my heart and in my mind. And it could be something as simple as just saying hello to somebody or smiling at somebody that you see in the grocery store or on the street or in the car next to you, because you never know what kind of stress or things are going on in their life. And sometimes just a simple hello or a smile from a stranger is enough to lift their spirits. Anybody can do that.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. And what a powerful question for us all. How can we help others? And I love that example that it's something we can do every single day. We can make that choice to smile, to make eye contact, to encourage, to uplift. And that can make a big difference. I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart? On your spirit? What is it that when you think of 2025 and beyond that is ready to come forward? And how does putting that thought, that question, that perspective of how we can help other people in add to that? I know for myself, I'm purposely feeling this, two things. One, I'm feeling this need to be very mindful and purposeful in what I do, and to every day really choose that. And to do that, I'm finding it's important for me to slow down and pause first, and then choose how I step forward to honor really what's being prioritized and called forward that day, and how I'm navigating through. So choosing, one, what I'm doing mindfully and purposely, two, honoring and paying attention to how, so that I'm showing up in a way that can really serve those that I interact with, as well as myself, that I and others can continue to move forward powerfully and purposely. So as we go into our first break here, I encourage you to stay present, really see what is being laid on your heart, what is being laid on your spirit, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that pause, a moment to just really be present and think about, be present with, see what's being laid on your heart and spirit as you look at 2025 and beyond. And I think it's really timely to look at opportunities and things that are coming your way, to be open and see, does that support? How can that fit what I'm looking to bring forward? Because here's something I've discovered. You don't have to do it all on your own. Wherever that myth started, that you needed to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, do it all on your own, is a myth. It is not true. We can come together on our journey and support one another, cheer each other on. And when we can unite together, it's really amazing the synergy that's created and what is possible and what you can bring forward by us each taking steps together. So just that was laid on my heart during that pause, a reminder. And I wanted to make sure to share that with all of you as we are looking at 2025 and beyond. And it is my privilege and honor, and I'm very excited to be introducing our guest. She has been on our show before, so I'm welcoming her back, and I wanted to just introduce and share a little bit about her. So for those of you who don't know Debi, and this is your first time meeting her, she is the owner and CEO of AccuMaxim, a strategic CFO company that helps business owners increase cash, maximize profits, and scale their business. All powerful things. She owns two other companies, Taxpertise LLP and DJC Media, her personal publishing company. She's a #1 best-selling author, motivational guest speaker, and she's been featured on major medias. And just to list a few, CBS News, NBC, Fox, and Boston Herald. She is a St. Louis Titan 100 for 2023 and is passionate about helping you and business owners thrive. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the dynamic and powerful Debi Corrie to the show. Welcome.
I love that introduction. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Very honored to have you joining us. And I wanted to start our conversation about, why is this work? You do a lot of work in the financial and leadership and publishing spaces. Why is that work personally so important to you?
It's so important because I think the pandemic pointed out to me how business owners, who are the heart of our community, they support 54% of our industry in America, small business owners, and they don't take care of themselves. They don't plan for their retirements. They don't plan for when bad things are going to happen, like the pandemic. And they work hard and give employees great lives. And sometimes they don't stop and make sure that they're going to have a great life too. So it's really important to me that these people that drive our country, that employ us, that are parts of our community, are also taking care of themselves, because when they're successful, these business owners contribute to their communities, and then they create great ecosystems where communities are self-supportive and care for each other.
Thank you for sharing that. And that is so true. You can get so busy taking care of everyone else that they themselves can struggle at times. And when you step in to support and help business owners, what is one of the first questions that you'll ask, or one of the first things you help them do to start shifting that situation a little bit so they can thrive and really do all they're called to do?
Well, we always ask them, where do they want to be 3 to 5 years from now? And they'll
Mm-hmm.
give us a business answer. And that's great. But business and personal things are intertwined. And we say, what does that picture look like for you personally? Where do you want
Mm.
to be? What do you want to be doing? Can you really visualize that? Because we want to help them get out of the day to day and get that big picture vision in focus so they can really accomplish their goals.
Mm. Thank you. What a wonderful thing for us to think about starting today, 2025 and beyond. And if our first answer is business, looking at that personal too and really starting to bring that forward. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's something that I hear a lot as a business owner myself. We're so often focused on the next thing we're building, where we're going, what we're doing, what we're managing, that can become very consuming. And I love that you're really standing for business owners to help them bring that balance and just be successful in all areas, not just that business space. So I just applaud you and I thank you for the work you do.
We really love it. We love to see business owners thrive. The lifetime value of our clients are 3 to 5 years because if we've done our job, they've hired their own CFO. And
Mm,
so when we have somebody graduate, that's a celebration. We're not sad because we know we've done our job.
mm. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. And one of the things that I know you're doing, so this is kind of going into that publishing side of the business of one of your businesses, is you're working on an anthology project. And for people who are not familiar with anthologies, it's a book compilation where multiple authors come together and each write a section, a chapter of that book under a common theme, what the book is covering and bringing to the world. And Debi is the compiler leading a powerful project, this powerful anthology. I want her to share, so I'm not taking any of the excitement away from that, but she is bringing forward a really powerful anthology with multiple voices uniting and coming together. And Debi, I'd like you to share what this anthology is and why you're bringing it forward and what you really hope that it will do for people in the world.
Well, I was going about my business, right? And I started really listening to what women were saying to themselves in their self talk. And what I realized was that I had been somebody that was a titan in my industry, right? Titan 100. What I didn't realize is I'd a path for young women under me until a young woman said that.
Mm,
And you may think that that is unusual, but as we talk more about the story and how this book got started, it's not. Most women don't visualize themselves that way. They visualize themselves as, okay, I was just going about doing my business, or I'm just on my way to this big mountain and I haven't hit the mountain yet, so I'm not allowed to acknowledge my success. And what I realized, something really important, what this young person said to me was, I shared my story and I stopped because women don't share their business stories. And
mm,
I thought, why is that? And we're going to talk about that hopefully today in a little more detail, but men share their stories all the time. That's how they know how to travel the road, right? They know
mm,
how to talk to each other. They're constantly sharing those business stories and successes and what did they do to get around an obstacle. And as women, we're taught not to talk about that. And I thought, here is a book that really needs to highlight the accomplishments of women and tell those stories so the next generation can figure out how they want to do things differently.
beautiful. That's very exciting that these stories that are, I feel, waiting to be told, needing to be told, that can really help pave the way, you are collecting and bringing forward in this anthology. So, can you give a little bit more details of the cover and kind of when it's coming forward so people can start to watch announcements and watch for information about it.
Yeah, so it's called The Unsung Heroines of Business because these women haven't acknowledged that they've done something incredible. And it's C-suite executives and women, stories from women business owners that have broken through glass ceilings in traditional male-dominated spaces. And I think that's really interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the next generation coming up can learn so many things through Google and research, but what they don't learn about is failure. And all of us had a lot of failures along the way. But the one thing we had in common was we didn't take no for an answer. And that's why these stories are so important.
I love it. And the book is coming out the end of April. So we're excited.
Yes.
We're going to be sharing out about that. So make sure to be tuning in, listeners, and we'll also be posting information as we get closer to that date. But mark April 30th on your calendars. That's when the book will be out and released. And something really special about the release is the first 24 to 48 hours, there will be that special rate of $1.99 USD. So it's a wonderful opportunity to lean in to add this valuable resource to your library for a super special rate. So make sure to add that to your calendar. It's just for that first 24 to 48 hours. You'll be able to get the digital copy at that special rate on April 30th. And we'll remind you, but it's always great as you're planning to mark that date on your calendar and really hold it to take advantage of this special opportunity. I'm curious, as you have started to bring this forward, collect these stories, is there something that has really struck you in the process of bringing in those right authors, right stories?
No, it's pretty amazing. I've talked to women that have won the Titan 100 award and didn't want to write because they didn't think they deserved it. There is a grueling process to get a Titan 100 award.
Mm.
I'm laughing because can you imagine being someone that's been awarded and they don't think they deserve to be in the book or have a story to tell? And that really got me thinking about what do we think of ourselves as women and what are the things that we were taught? When I originally started this book, I only wanted to have women that were 50 or 60 in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to open it up because that mindset was taught so much that they're not to acknowledge their accomplishments, that that's bragging or boasting, and that's just nonsense. When you share your story with somebody, that allows them to say, if she can do it, I can do it. And that helps them get on with their own dreams. And you can be a role model for them. It's not bragging or boasting, it's just telling a story to help people understand how they can do things differently in the world.
I love it. And it's really claiming that success and honoring it. It's not bragging, it's owning it. And it reminds me of an experience I had. I was a financial advisor for a number of years and I loved it. I loved working with people and companies and empowering them in that financial arena. And I achieved a lot of awards in that space. So I had all these certificates and awards that were given to me that were framed that I didn't put on the wall. Year after year, word after word, I was excited because I could check that off the list. I had achieved that, the $1 million club, $3 million club, $20 million clubs, this achievement, that, a bunch of different achievements that I had been able to do and bring forward. And I kept them on the side of my desk tucked away. And one day an advisor came in and she was younger in her journey as an advisor. And she says, Rebecca, I saw that you just achieved this circle of champions and I wanted to come in and see the award. And I showed her kind of where it was. And she just kind of looked at it, came back to me a little bit later and she was upset. And she said, Rebecca, you have achieved all these things. I saw the other awards, and you don't have any of them on the wall. And you're someone I look up to and want to achieve some of the things that you do. Your clients don't even know the level from which you speak because you aren't sharing this. You aren't showing this. And she had a hammer and nails and actually helped me hang them on the wall going forward.
Love that. I love it.
Isn't that beautiful? And I was able to own it more and not shrink back and realize some of the value. So you just reminded me of that experience, Debbie. Thank you.
Well, and thank you. Why, as women, can't we just accept a compliment when somebody tells us how awesome we are? The only thing we have to do is say thank you.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. Well, we are getting ready to go to our next break. And as we do so, I want you to think about maybe you have a story or two like that on your heart and spirit. Perhaps you're brushing off those compliments or the things that you have done and you're tucking them away in a corner. See what's on your heart and see where you're wanting to go in 2025 and beyond. We'll be back in just a moment.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on X. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click Register at the top right.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you used those 2 minutes to really see, have you been tucking some of that success behind the desk? Tucking it away, maybe not really sharing it, not letting people know of what you achieved, or as Debbie was saying, just kind of going about your day, your business, doing the next thing, not really stopping, pausing, and looking at that journey and sharing. As we talked about, Debbie has this powerful book that she is bringing forward, and she shared with me during one of our breaks here that there are actually some available spots. So there is an opportunity here as you listen to our conversation today to really feel in and see, am I ready? Am I willing to step forward and share my story? And you can partner with Debbie and become part of this powerful project. So Debbie, I'd love for you to take a minute and share what you share with people who are considering being part of this project, to really feel in and see, is this the way for them to help reach people and bring their story, their legacy their journey forward.
Yeah, I think it has been really interesting in how I have been talking to people about this because these are positive business stories. Maybe there was some difficulty involved in the business, or how you got around a no, or how you used humor in business to get what you wanted. But there was some obstacle that you had to overcome, and you had a positive outcome to that obstacle. And a lot of times when you have to overcome something, there's some kind of failure first, right? And I think sharing those stories like, oh, I stubbed my toe here, but this is how it turned out and the lessons I learned and this is what I gained from it. That is what's so powerful about these stories that women are telling. I think the other thing is that you don't have to be at the pinnacle or the top of your mountain. These stories are about the lessons that you have learned along the way. And what I love to tell people is I'm an amazing person that is still a work in progress. Everybody should still be a work in progress. So don't think because you consider yourself a work in progress that you're not worthy to be part of this journey and part of this anthology. That's exactly why you should be interested in being part of this anthology. Those are the minds of the people that we like to have in these stories because they're open to learning and trying new things.
I love that. And I'm even thinking to be willing to share, you're not only getting to bring your story forward and share that. And I love that we are all works in progress, that reminder. We don't have to have arrived and be complete. I think we're always on the journey. We're always evolving and growing and stepping through things and overcoming things. I think it's an ongoing journey. And you would get to be in a community of fellow co-authors that are also on the journey, coming together, very accomplished and yet evolving and growing. What a powerful group and dynamic to be part of. I know I've had the privilege and honor of leading anthologies and participating in them. And I always love the community that gets formed, and it continues through the release of the book and beyond. So I didn't know, Debbie, if you had any comments or thoughts about that.
Yes, we want to get together at least 3 times a year. So that we can network and get to know each other better on a deeper level and see how we can help each other as people, either in business or personally. Because remember, those two are intertangled all the time. And, I think there's this idea that you can separate business and personal life. Maybe you put them in buckets, but they're still interconnected, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that part of building your own community is really powerful. One of the other ideas we're talking about here in my region is having some of the books that have been anthologies do some kind of joint networking event also, because the people that are in these books have told some really powerful stories.
Thank you for sharing. And I know we're talking a lot about stories, and I love that. I love that it's continuing on building the communities, building the network. And one of the things I really appreciate about people who participate in anthologies is their willingness to share their story, to bring it forward, to be a little bit vulnerable. And I know that when we do that, it always makes a difference. And one of the roles I get to have with different anthologies is frequently I get to be part of the campaign leading the best-selling part. So I get to see behind the scenes the journey all of the authors go on, from creating the story to it becoming really real. And now it's really, really, really going to be shared out in the world, to the wonder and the excitement of seeing their story received and getting the messages and the texts and the calls about, this is exactly what I needed. I never knew this about you. Thank you for sharing. It has touched my life in this way. And I see that every single time that an author leans in and is willing to share that story, that part of their journey. So I really encourage anyone that is feeling a pull on your heart to connect with Debi and explore, see if this project is the right fit for you, that you're feeling that pull, you'll feel it. You'll feel yourself leaning in. Towards the end of the show, we're going to have her share her contact information so you can connect, you can go deeper. The book is coming out in April, so it is time sensitive, so you don't want to wait. You want to feel
No,
in.
you don't want to wait.
Right? And reach out, take that action. And if you reach out and are finding, well, I'm curious, I want to know more, I encourage you to just reach out, have the conversation, and see. It will encourage you, whether this is the perfect project for you or not. It's going to give you clarity and direction and another step on that path to bringing your story and your message forward. And Debi, you're getting to know her a little bit, is authentic and someone that you can just connect with and trust, and brilliant and accomplished. All of these amazing things. So really trusted space where you can share some of your story and see if that might be a good alignment and fit. And Debi, as you're leaning into this space and we're looking at sharing our stories, we're looking at bringing those things forward that mattered most to us in 2025, what is something that you would say to all of our listeners that are exploring the idea of perhaps sharing a little bit more of who they are, whether it's in an anthology or in another format? What would you share with them?
I think you are so shocked by the reaction of other people, because I remember anytime I know something really big is going to happen in my life, I get this butterflies in my stomach, right? And that's always my signal that I probably should take it seriously. So I know when I get butterflies that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, and that means that I'm about to do something that scares me. So people think I'm really brave. And what I want to say is bravery is not about getting over the fear. I never get over my fear, Rebecca. Bravery is about stepping into the fear and just saying, I'm going to try this and figure out if it works for me or not. And I can tell you, sometimes it hasn't worked for me. But writing has always been wonderful for me because it's been a great way for me to share stories and experience, and to share that imperfection is what makes us human. And when we share those imperfections, it allows other people to share their imperfections and move forward in their lives. It's so powerful.
I love that. And sharing that you do feel those butterflies, you feel fear, and you step forward anyway, that you actually use that as an indicator that this is a thing to move forward in. And I'm curious, has writing always been something, like, did you jump at the first opportunity to write and publish, or was there some fear that you had to overcome in that? And now I know writing is such a great and powerful an empowering thing for you, but was it always like that?
No, the first anthology I was in was called Hear Her Now. And I just really debated whether I should do it or not. And I was really scared about it. I didn't know if people were going to like my story. I didn't, I had so many unknowns, right? And I think that has been a lot of things that we run into with authors. But we provide an editor. They help you figure out your story. They help you figure out what you want to write about. And then the problem becomes, which of the ideas am I going to actually pick to write about rather than what to write about? And you have to put those aside for another time, right? So I think the process really, I went through this whole thing. I'm probably not good enough. I really don't know if I should be doing this, but there's a whole support system. And I would encourage you to get, I call it the little devil on your left shoulder, right? The one that's telling you all the reasons you shouldn't do something. I encourage you to ignore that voice and talk to the other one, the little angel on the right side of your shoulder that's always encouraging, and say, what would be some great things that would happen if you do it? So I always love that analogy, because I think, we all have those voices in our head, and we have to refocus on positive outcomes, right?
Absolutely. I love that. Really choosing to turn down the volume on the one and turn up the volume on the other, to really see what are some of the amazing things that could happen, that would be possible if I did lean in. I love that. I think that applies for so many things that we consider. And also, one of the indicators I've learned, I'm just picking up tips here. So one, choosing which shoulder you're going to listen to, which bean. And then also watch for the butterflies in the stomach, that actually is an indicator of something you could lean into. I encourage watching for that pull forward. And when you feel that leaning in, that pulling forward, that's a yes. And then you figure out the how and the steps and those other things. So whatever the things are that you are considering in 2025 and beyond and looking to bring forward, I encourage you to apply some of these tips to really help you navigate in powerful ways. And one of the things we're also talking about behind the scenes was sometimes that women are not believing in themselves as much. We see this, or they are waiting for permission, someone to give them permission that now is their time to do this or that. What are your thoughts around that? What would you like to share?
I would love for us to get rid of the expression, I'm enough. It is a self-limiting belief. I want us to start telling ourselves that we are amazing now, that we are wonderful people, that we can handle anything we put our mind to, that we can put it in God's hands if you believe in that. But it is, I am enough is a self-limiting belief. And for me, it became crystal clear this past November. I went to a conference and we were making these amazing hats, right? They were glammed up and you could put all these kinds of things on these baseball caps. They were amazing. And the woman in the booth next to me had a patch underneath her bill. And the patch said, I am enough. And she told me she had to remind herself of that. And it broke my heart. Broke my heart. Because if you're listening to this show, you are a wonderful human being with all your imperfections. I can't share that enough because as women, we're taught to be perfect. And I tell people I'm a recovering perfectionist and control freak who always wanted everything 100% and is learning to live with 80-20. And I can tell you my life is so much happier at 80-20 than it was with 100%. So it's a self-limiting belief that you have to have all this education. You have to do all these other things first, that you don't deserve it. Stop saying that. It's fear on that left side of your shoulder telling you those silly things. Listen to the other person on the right shoulder that says you're amazing and you deserve what you have.
Thank you, Debi. So powerful. We are getting ready to go to our next break. And as we do so, I want you to really sit with what Debi has shared. And we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on LinkedIn. Connect with us today.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you really sat with what Debi shared. I could feel the power and the conviction and really looking at and knowing that you're amazing. You're perfect in your imperfections. You are human and so needed in the world exactly as you are and so valuable. And I hope you just really heard that deeply in your core. And as we come together here, I wanted to make sure I had Debi share her contact information for anyone that's wanting to lean in and connect. Debi's an amazing person to be able to talk with and build a relationship with, as well as be part of some of the amazing things that she's doing. So, Debi, I'd love for you to share the best way for people to follow you, to connect with you. Anyone that is interested in exploring the anthology opportunity, just let us know those details. And everyone get your paper and pen ready.
Yeah, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I am Debi, Debi, Corrie, Corrie. And it says Debi Corrie CFO on it. So you can connect with me that way. You can text me at 314-476-4200. That is our work phone. So you can call and leave a message, or you can send us a text. Or you can send me an email directly at Debi, Debi, at Acumaxum, ACUMAXUM.com.
Perfect. And if someone is interested in the anthology, just because I know it's coming out in April, and I mentioned that they want to take action soon, what do we mean by soon? So that people have time to think, but then take action.
Yeah, no later than the 25th of January, actually. We are trying to wrap this up. And if you're listening and going, oh, well, I'm out, you don't have your story written the 25th of January. You're committed to do it the 25th of January. There is time to write and be coached and to get in the book. We just need final commitments by then.
Perfect. So this is the month to feel in, make that decision. So reaching out sooner rather than later is good, so that you have time to feel in and see. But I'm excited to bring this opportunity to all of you, and I encourage you to feel in and see. Is this calling you? Is this something that you have been waiting for, to have an opportunity to participate in something like this? So I encourage you to feel in and reach out to Debi and her team and really explore. Just be mindful of that January 25th deadline. Don't wait till the 25th to do the call. You want to do it sooner so that you can make that decision by then. And then, Debi, as you reflect back, actually, I also want to remind everyone to put that April 30th date on your calendar from when the book will be released, because I also believe many of you will be so served. I believe all of us actually will be very served by adding this book to our library. So make sure to put that April 30th date on your calendar as well. And then, Debi, as you reflect back on our conversation, we've been talking about mindset and which voices are we listening to as we bring things forward. What final tip do you have for our listeners as they lean into 2025 and beyond?
So do the thing that scares you. When 80-year-olds were asked what they regretted most in life, it was the roads they chose not to travel because they didn't know the outcomes. It was the decisions they were afraid to make. So I encourage you to do something crazy this year that you've always wanted to do. It's going to make your tummy tingle. You've always been scared to try it. What does it hurt to try it or do? If you have some big, hairy goal, break it down and work on it 15 minutes a day. That's it, just 15 minutes a day. And when you take that 15 minutes and add it up over the year, that will be way farther on your goal than doing maybe 8-hour blocks that you can't set aside. So take baby steps to get to where you want to go so you can get there.
Beautiful. Thank you. Baby steps count, and they add up and they move you forward. Thank you, Debi. Beautiful tip and suggestion. I encourage everyone to lean into that thing that stretches you, that's been on your big dream, your bucket list, that scares and stretches you, and break it down into those 15 minutes a day and take those steps. I can't wait to see where all of you go in 2025 and beyond. I hope you have an amazing week, a powerful January, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.